Hey guys! So randomly, out of nowhere, Nintendo updated Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch to add an epilogue to the storybook. I like to call it Lubba's storybook, but the book is now white. It kind of reminds me of the Light Prognosticus from Super Paper Mario. I guess there's another Galaxy book that people can confuse with a Paper Mario book now, but I think it's really random and really interesting that they added, like, more lore to Galaxy 2, like, after the port, like, initially released. Because, like, I mean, they already added the storybook and everything, kind of showing Lubba's backstory, but they added even more now. I'm wondering if that's because the movie released and they wanted to wait until after. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting. And it's interesting that the Galaxy 2 storybook now has its own design. But from what I've heard, this story has nothing to do with the movie, so I don't think there are any concerns with, like, Rosalina's backstory from the movie being canon, because this is, like, pretty different from what I'm hearing. But it's really cool that they did add more, so let's go ahead and check it out. So now we have, like, the new design here. So we have the epilogue called Journey. Okay, so let's read it here. That night, the Lady of Shooting Stars had a premonition that a new star would soon be born. Usually, on an occasion like this, she would invite a crowd of Lumas to the kitchen to celebrate, but this time, she decided to wait in the garden alone. I really like the music here. They actually added a new track for this epilogue specifically. In the grassy field below the night sky, only the sound of wind could be heard. Sitting there reminded her of the first time she spied the hill through her telescope. In the garden, she could take in her surroundings with a peaceful heart. On this night, she spotted two streaks of light in the inky sky. Looking more closely through her telescope, she saw that one blue and flying like arrow. Chasing it was a purple light. The two lights never touched, nor did they part. In fact, it looked like they were playing. The two lights began circling each other gleefully, as if they were dancing. Their pace got faster and faster, and their light grew brighter and brighter, until, with one burst, they transformed into two suns. I'm guessing that's Lubba and Mary. The twin stars continued to circle each other, bathing this garden with warm sunlight. As the sky turned blue, the sound of the wind turned into a waltz. Hello, new stars. It's nice to see you. A star bit fell from her eye. And also, welcome back. She heard a voice down by her feet. Don't cry, okay? Your mother's waiting for your tears to dry. The lady kept her gaze upon the sky. I know, but these newborn stars are so beautiful. It's hard not to be moved. Their light is so new and bright. And they're pulling each other together so strongly. Their orbit ensures they'll never part. She wiped the star bit from her eye. They each found their special someone. But when will I meet my special someone? The girl asked sadly. The lady's voice was kind. The strongest force in all the universe is a heart that never gives up. The girl regained her brightness and gripped the lady's hand. Yes, I think that's how we must be. The lady squeezed the girl's hand in return. And with that, the Lady of Shooting Stars went back inside, where she was met by a great number of Lumas in the bedroom, awaiting a bedtime story from their mama. Ever since that day, the sun's light fills the garden, and it's said that the wind whistles through the meadow to the tune of a waltz. The end. So that story was beautiful overall. It kind of ties everything together, kind of connecting Lubba's story with her coping with loss with Rosalina's. And I feel like they handled that really well. Like, Rosalina was kind of watching Mary and Lou, and it kind of reminded her of her younger self. And I think that's what the girl was kind of like depicting. It's kind of like symbolically representing like Rosalina like talking to her younger self. Like she wasn't literally talking to her younger self, and that also wasn't Peach as well. I mean, I've seen some people say that like, oh, the girl standing next to her is Peach because of the backstory from the movie. But I think that's clearly meant to be like Rosalina's younger self, and she's kind of like reflecting on her past, and she's kind of thinking about like how Lubba's story, or just like kind of what she's seeing of it, was kind of similar to her past, and just like she remembered to just like not give up, and she'll eventually like find a family, like how she did with the Lumas in Rosalina's storybook in Galaxy 1. So it's really beautiful, and I think it's definitely like a great ending. I also think it's funny and kind of ironic that they're adding more story to the Galaxy games when the movie barely had a plot. Now, don't get me wrong, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was a really fun experience, but it didn't have much of a concrete story. So I think it's interesting that Nintendo is going in the complete opposite direction with Galaxy 1+2. And it also kind of makes me wonder if they are planning on making a successor to the Galaxy games. I'm not saying it will necessarily be Galaxy 3. I'm not sure if they're going to do that exactly, but a game that's maybe a spiritual successor to the Galaxy games, like maybe a game that takes like heavy inspiration and maybe like continues off of like the story of the Galaxy games, but also does something a little different as well. I'm guessing kind of like how 64 to Sunshine to Odyssey was. Like all three of those games are kind of similar in structure, but very different in other elements, especially with like controls and different things in the game. So I'm wondering if we'll see that, but with Galaxy. Like I think we could see something like maybe a Super Mario universe, where it maybe has like the sphere walking mechanic, but also like wider or more open areas. Kind of like a combination of that. I could possibly see that for like the next 3D Mario game. It would just make a lot of sense going off of the Galaxy movie and the new story-related content in Galaxy 2. And then finally, I hope they do a physical release of the Galaxy 2 storybook, like they did with Rosalina's Galaxy 1 storybook. I know at first the Galaxy 2 storybook was substantially shorter, but now that they added this epilogue, I think it's about 50 pages, somewhere around there, which actually isn't that much shorter than the Galaxy 1 storybook. I think Galaxy 1 only has a few more pages now, so I feel like Galaxy 2 storybook could definitely work in physical form. And I'm wondering if they like released it now because they're like planning on doing it soon, and also gave it like the white design opposed to like the brown cover design from Galaxy 1. It would just make a lot of sense to actually like sell as a physical product. Because like, I mean, before it basically had the same design as Galaxy 1's. So I really hope they do that, but it's really cool that they did this anyway. It's weird that they held this off until now, but that might be a strategic decision as well. Like, I mean, either they're doing a physical release or like gearing up for like an announcement of like a new game, or like tying it in with the physical release of the movie or something like that. And also the Japanese release of the movie as well. So it's probably related to the movie, even though this storybook has like nothing to do with like any story elements of the movie. They're just kind of doing it for like promotional purposes. But I also love the song that plays as well, and it's cool that it's on Nintendo Music. And I think it's really funny that they didn't even bother adding it to the Spotify release, because that's limited anyway. But anyways, let me know what you think of this new storybook chapter down in the comments, and thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Blue Sky if you want to. Stay perky!